Alright guys, welcome back to Strong Successful Male. So for today, going to go over an article titled Wife and Strife. Millionaire surgeon divorces beauty queen Regina Turner after discovering her secret double life as a $700,000 escort. And guys, this story is definitely one you're not going to forget. This story actually was circling around YouTube and the internet last week. And honestly, I wasn't going to do it because other YouTubers were covering this story. But so many of you guys emailed me with links to the article asking me to cover this. You were sending me messages on Instagram. So I figured, all right, I'll cover this, give my take on it. And I honestly didn't check out what the other channels were saying about this. I can imagine. But what I'm going to do, which is probably different, is I'm going to go through this article, but then I'm going to break it down as to where this guy, the odds are where this guy went wrong marrying this woman, and probably what he didn't do, what he should have done before he actually, got committed to her and all that, okay? As well as many other little things here, because it's easy to just say, oh, she's a WHORE, which literally she is a WHORE, and is the devil and all that, and she is, don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of things this guy could have done if he had this knowledge to prevent himself a lot of not only heartache and pain, but also embarrassment. I mean, there are countless articles about this online right now. You just Google this and you'll see what I'm talking about, not to mention on YouTube. So imagine that just that professional embarrassment he has for his job, amongst many other things. So I'm going to wait till the end to do this, guys. I'm going to read this article, point things out along the way, but the real lessons will be at the end, and that way then you guys, not that I expect many of you guys to land a beauty queen, no offense, I mean, what are the odds, but you know what I mean here. That way then you can take some of these lessons to your own relationships, for you relationship guys later on, because they're very practical and can be used for any situation. So, without further ado, it starts off, a surgeon has divorced his beauty queen wife after claiming she had a secret double life as an escort earning $700,000. Can you imagine that, guys? You find out after a number of years that your wife, who I'm going to assume, if you look at the picture, guys, you click on the link in the description, look at her picture. She's hot. I mean, you can't dispute that. Beautiful face, amazing body. Trust me, she's got no problem getting whoever she wants, okay? Now, she chose a millionaire instead of a billionaire. She probably could have gotten a billionaire, but she probably was a little too old for some of the billionaires. But regardless, she's good looking and has her choice with guys. But imagine that. The feeling of finding this out. Holy crap, I feel for this guy. It says, a New York City spinal surgeon, Dr. Han Jo Kim, and estranged spouse Regina Turner, once a Miss Connecticut, USA, finalized their split before a public hearing could take place, according to a spokesman for the State Office of Court Administration.Kim, 41 years old, had previously claimed in a 264-page documented file in the Manhattan Supreme Court that his 32-year-old wife had duped him into the union, saying she had hidden her secret life as an escort for wealthy men from him. So all these years that he was with her, and obviously beforehand, secretly, her business was as an escort. I mean, you got to be kidding me here. And some people may say, why did she get involved with this guy when she was making plenty of dough anyway? Well, this is an opportunity to make more dough and milk this guy for everything it's worth, because, I mean, she knows darn well because of her beauty, boom, she'd have no problem getting a guy, a wealthy guy, and maybe milk it for all it's worth and then be with him long enough that then she could then divorce him and get a hefty alimony payment and all that and half of his assets forever. It is New York. I'm sure New York is a blue state, so I'm going to just assume they're probably more favorable towards women in the divorce process. That's probably what was going on. And she is a scumbag. The doctor claimed in the document that Turner had been paid nearly $700,000 in cash by her client since 2015. So the entire duration of their marriage, she secretly, how this guy didn't know, you know what I mean? Seriously. Kim initially filed for divorce in December 2020 after he discovered a racy text message from another man on a computer in their Upper East Side home, court documents alleged. It's always on the computer. It's always on the phone. How many stories, for you guys that watch me regularly, how many stories have I gone over? Personal stories or stories that are circulating online about guys that eventually find these things on the girlfriend or wives' phones. It's a gold mine. I mean, it reveals everything on the phone. The couple separated in April, and it claimed Kim later discovered his wife had been selling you-know-what for money before they wed on November 27, 2015, and continued to do so during their marriage, according to an amended complaint filed earlier this month in the Manhattan Supreme Court. According to Turner's alleged financial records, there were $775,000 in cash deposits made between 2015 and 2021, with many checks coming from a New Jersey real estate executive, as well as a lighting designer's UK-based company, according to the document. Well, that is some high-priced P-word there. I mean, she's hot, but guess what? You can get plenty of other hot ones, too, for a lot less lower price, but okay. It says here, it remains inconceivable to the plaintiff that given his substantial earnings as a spine surgeon and his enormous generosity to the defendant, that the defendant continued to sell you-know-what for money during the marriage, the complaint alleges. Well, like I said in the beginning, what was probably going on is she found herself a rich guy. Like I said, women can pick out a guy like that a mile away, not to mention a marriage material rich guy. A guy who, I'm going to guess, probably didn't get a whole lot of attention from women when he was younger. I could be wrong, but didn't get a whole lot of attention. But now he's successful, making a ton of money. New York spinal surgeon, so you're making way more money living in Manhattan, all that. Plenty of assets. Maybe she found him one of those rich guy dating sites. I don't know, but she knows darn well she could get a guy like that. And probably the idea was, okay, I'll marry this guy. I'll continue doing my side business and hide my money, which I'm going to come back to the hiding of money thing in a moment. And then I'll be married to him, and yeah, I have to F him for a while and to suck his you-know-what every once in a while. But okay, fine, I'll enjoy the lifestyle, stay with him long enough that then eventually I can divorce him, find a reason to divorce him, and I can get half his shit and a hefty alimony payment, and I'm good to go. That's probably what was going on. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. Turner, who was named Miss Connecticut, USA in 2011, is said to have conned Kim while they dated, telling the doctor that she was working on an app which was supported by a wealthy investor. When Kim asked Turner how she was supporting herself while the app was in development, it said she claimed she was living off the 500K inheritance from her great-grandmother, the document claims. This guy, if he is this wealthy and this known, he should have done unbelievable screening on who he was getting married to instead of just taking her word for it. Come on here, look what happened. The complaint, though, states her savings and access to funds derived from the receipt of money in exchange for a provision of S-word services. Turner is said to have covered up her secret work by telling her husband she was going out with girlfriends or had to travel as part of her work, the papers allege. The old going out with the girlfriends, girlfriend nights, girlfriend weekends, right? It's funny how these stories are so similar. She also is said to have lied about her education, claiming she had been a chemistry major at the University of Connecticut for 3 years until she took a leave of absence to compete in the Miss USA pageant. The court documents claim she never graduated from high school. Holy crap, it just gets worse and worse. So she's obviously street smart, but book smart went bye-bye to her a long time ago, unless she self-educated. But she's a con artist, so she's obviously very, very intelligent street-wise. The court document claims she never graduated high school. Dr. Kim is said to have earned $3.2 million in 2018, according to the New York Daily News. That's a lot of money. $3.2 million in 2018, so obviously it's going to be more as the years progress. Now, even though he lives in New York City, I mean, probably, and I don't know what his deductions are and all that, but probably half that's going to taxes, federal taxes, New York State taxes, New York City taxes, but still, he's probably getting half that after taxes. I don't know what his deductions are. Every situation is different, but probably half that. But here's the big question I've been wondering all along. How did this guy not know about... Okay, let me go back. They file their taxes every year. I'm going to assume they file married filing jointly. Therefore, if she was getting those payments, she's not reporting her income. So Uncle Sam is going to come a-knocking. Federal Uncle Sam, New York State Uncle Sam, and New York City Uncle Sam, they're going to be coming, especially after this article has gone public. Now, some people can argue back and forth on how it would go, but the bottom line is this, is that she was evading taxes. And some people may say, oh, well, this guy could be in deep shit. Well, he could probably pull the with this article and it being known, I think the term is innocent spouse type of scenario. Any tax attorneys or accountants or tax preparers are watching this, let me know how you think this might go. But bottom line is this: she received money illegally, wasn't paying taxes, so they're going to be after her. It's not going to go well. But anyhow, guys, so I'm going to now go through a few things I think should be obvious things that should have been going through the guy's head, and just things to point out here. The first one is, and the obvious, I mentioned a little earlier, guys, a lesson here is, if you got money, I mean really good money, you're a high earner, and you got status, you must investigate who you're marrying. Okay? Now, obviously this guy did not, but this guy is a high-profile guy, makes a hell of a lot of money. I don't see how this guy wasn't hiring a private investigator to find out exactly who he was marrying. I mean, seriously. But it seems like none of that was going on. So for any of you guys that are doing really well for yourself, and you decide you want to get married one day, because I know I've got plenty of guys that watch me that either are married or want to get married one day, regardless of how things are, your reasons are your own. You got to do your homework. You got to do some serious digging, because look how it could impact you down the road. Who knows what's going to happen here with this guy and his money? Maybe because she was conning him. Who the hell knows? Or the tax implications? I don't know. But nevertheless, you guys got to know who you're getting involved with, okay? Serious digging and finding out not just her job or personal life, but her family, everything. Money, finances. You got to do it. Another one is, as Magneto said in X-Men 2, and I quote, "Never trust a beautiful woman, especially one who's interested in you." Remember this, guys. If your whole life, women really didn't give you the time of day, and all of a sudden you get to the point where perhaps you're in your 30s or maybe your late 30s or 40s, and you're doing really well for yourself, and you're making good money, and you got resources, and it's obvious, maybe you got some status, who knows, and all of a sudden, these women that wouldn't pay attention to you are all of a sudden paying attention to you. Understand why. It's not because all of a sudden you're finally going to get them or something. If you haven't changed personality wise, it's no doubt because you got resources, because you got status, and they want to benefit from that. Remember that. I don't know what this guy was like before he was with her. He could have been a huge dork and no one would give him the time of day. Or he could have been a cool guy that got girls. Who the hell knows? But the point is, he thought he was getting a prize. He's like, hey, I got this smoking hot Miss Connecticut, look how cool I look. But look how that backfired on him. You got to pay attention. Ask yourself, why all of a sudden are these hot women interested in me when they wouldn't give me the time of day before? And a lot of guys don't want to do that. Another thing, prenup. Pretty obvious here, but get a freaking prenup. And make sure they got a darn good lawyer. And also have it that she has a prenup too. That way her lawyer eventually one day can't claim duress or any other shit like that. Okay? Prenup. Another one. During the marriage, pay attention to your finances, okay? I think it's fair that both parties, they're married, can show, if one has a business, showing, here are the earnings, here's what I make, stuff like that. Here are my holdings, okay? It seems pretty fair to me, in my opinion. Another one. Remember that another thing is, guys, she chose this guy on purpose. Okay, I kind of mentioned this before, but really, she chose this guy on purpose. She could have chosen Buzz the plumber or Billy Ray the trash collector, but no, she chose this top doctor, a lot of prestige, high profile, makes a lot of money on purpose, okay? Believe me, they set their sights, and if they're smoking hot, generally speaking, a beautiful woman who's in her prime can get any guy. Pay attention to that. And the last and final thing I want you to take away from this, guys, is the very important saying of this, is that you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And you can take a girl out of the trailer park, but you cannot take the trailer park out of the girl. Remember that, no matter how much you think you can change a girl and all that. So guys, that is it for today. Be sure to comment down below what you think about this, and be sure to like the video, share with your friends, and subscribe. And I'll catch you next time.